If you want a better look and sound out of your 2007 through 2018 JK Wrangler, this AFE Rebel Series catback exhaust system with the polished tips is a great choice to consider. Now, whether you have the 3.8 or the 3.6, this system is great for the JK owner looking for a mild exhaust that keeps a lot of the extra volume at bay, but does deliver a deep yet mellow tone for a tougher presence out of the Jeep. Now, based on the sound clip, this gets a 2 out of 5 on the loudness meter, with 1 being stock and 5 being Wake the Neighbors Loud. So you're getting some refinement out of the sound and a little bit more of that aggressive presence in the higher RPM range, but still keeping it mellow and comfortable most of the time. Now, the look of the system is also a big reason that you may be checking this kit out. The polished tips and the dual rear exit is a great option for a more sporty and stylish look out of the back compared to the factory and even other more simplistic choices. Now, the look and sound here, as I mentioned, are two of the biggest features of this system. But starting with the sound, again, this really keeps it mild and more or less adds a better hum to the V6 compared to the factory system. Now, there's not a lot of volume with this kit thanks to the front muffler and rear chambered muffler, both working together to eliminate any high-pitched tones or drone that you may get with an exhaust, keeping this one very comfortable inside the cab, very similar to stock, and simultaneously adding that more aggressive feel. This also opens up the flow, and while it isn't necessarily a power mod, it definitely helps the engine breathe a little bit better and is a great supporting mod if you're looking to gain a little bit of efficiency back, if you've added larger wheels and tires and you've noticed your MPG go down. Now, the impression this exhaust makes from the back of the Jeep is also notable with the two 4.5-inch slant cut tips. They are polished for a more classic appearance, and they do have a stamped logo on the side with the AFE branding for some additional style. Now, this is made of a 2.5-inch mandrel bend 409 stainless steel tubing, so it's durable against the elements, especially in dry conditions. Now, while 409 itself is not completely rust-proof, the stainless build definitely outlasts factory and aluminized steel systems if you do want it to be cost-effective when you are looking for an exhaust, but also get a material that you can rely on when it comes to tougher conditions. Now, the kit is also 100% MIG welded for durability over time, and the exhaust has factory-style hangers located in the factory position, so you can trust that this is going to have a snug fit once it's in place. The kit also comes with everything that you need for the install, including all the van clamps and an extension pipe for the 4-door models for a hassle-free process. Now, this is about $900, landing this kit right in the middle of the price spectrum. It's very fitting for what this brings to the table, being a more mild system in sound, a 409 material that's durable but still more cost-effective compared to something like a premium 304, and it has a polished, sporty appearance to top it off. Now, exhaust systems can vary very heavily, but if you know you want a little more in appearance, a more mild sound with a system that's not going to completely break the bank, then this is a great option to do it with. Install is straightforward but requires some mechanical experience, so this gets a 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and if you have the right know-how and the right tools and setup, it should only take about 2 hours or so to complete. Now, at this point, I'm going to hand it over to one of our installers. They're going to show you a detailed breakdown on how you can get this bolted up to your JK at home. So that wraps it up for what I have to say. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
Tools required for this install include an impact gun, exhaust hanger remover tool, 15, 16, and 17 millimeter sockets, a swivel adapter, and a pry bar. What's up, guys? Today we're installing an exhaust on our Wrangler. First, we're going to watch a quick uninstall video showing you how to remove your factory exhaust. Now, this was shot on a different Jeep, but it's the exact same process, so let's get started.
First thing we're going to do here is loosen up our clamps. We have one clamp up front here by our catalytic Y-pipe. It's going to be a 15 millimeter socket, and then one clamp back by our muffler. After that, we're going to go through and spray all our rubber hangers with some WD-40. All right, now we're back here at the muffler clamp. This is also a 15 mil. All right, next thing we're gonna do is spray our rubber isolators with some WD-40. It's gonna help remove all of our exhaust hangers. All right, we'll just get the last of our hangers sprayed up here. All right, we're gonna pop our muffler out of the rubber isolators here. I have a clamp tool. If you guys don't have one of these, you can use a pry bar. Make sure you have all these sprayed down with WD-40 first, and they should pop out pretty easily for you. All right, I got one on this side. Once you've got your isolators disconnected, you can wiggle your muffler out of the over axle pipe. All right, we're moving right down the line here. We're gonna go to our next hanger on our over axle pipe here and get this one released next. All right, so for this front hanger, I'm gonna release the top portion. It's gonna be easier for me to get this out like that. All right, I'm gonna spray some PB Blaster up in the joint right here to help release it a little bit. And we're gonna tap this right out with a hammer.
So before we start installing any pipes, I'm gonna get up in here and install our hanger. This is gonna mount right up here to this cross member. We have this double nut plate that's gonna go on top. Line that up with holes. And then we have 2 bolts included in the kit to thread into that. Then take a 16mm socket and tighten those down. So now we're ready to start installing our exhaust. We've got our front pipe that's gonna go up to our flange, and then I'm also gonna install our muffler pipe so that we can install it into this hanger so it can support its own weight. So first we're gonna take that rubber isolator, wiggle that onto your hanger, and then take your front pipe and the clamp, slide it onto that flange. And now we can take that muffler pipe, slide a clamp over the end, get that lined up with our rubber isolator and our front pipe. Slip your isolator over, and then we can go back and tighten everything down. So now I'm gonna swing our muffler up and into place. Take a 15mm socket to tighten down my clamp. And then I'll come back to my front clamp, tighten that one down as well. Next, we're gonna install our over axle pipe. So slide a clamp on your muffler outlet first, and then we're gonna raise this over the axle. Line it up with your muffler pipe, slide it in, and then install it into that factory isolator. And then grab your 15mm socket to tighten your clamp. Now we can install our muffler. So take another clamp, slide it onto your muffler inlet, slide that onto your over axle pipe, and then we can work on getting these isolators and hangers connected. Now slide your clamp into place, tighten it down with a 15mm socket. And now lastly, we can install our tip. Slide your clamp on, slide your tip on. Now once you have your tip in place, grab a 17mm socket and tighten down your clamp. Do that same thing on the other side. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the AFE Rebel Series catback exhaust system with polished tips for your 2007 to 18 Jeep Wrangler JK. Thank you for watching, and for all things Wrangler, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.